Hello, and welcome back to the Boston Review. This week's incredulous installment will feature commentary from comrades Scott, Joe, Janus, and myself. For news, we hit another milestone in ecological catastrophe. Dems talk a big game on antitrust and look the other way as Microsoft outright purchases its competition. Rideshare giants preemptively pump funding into the Prop 22 clone, cresting the horizon in Massachusetts. And we pull back the curtain on Boston BSA's priority picking process. I list some ways that you and your comrades can get involved in the mass and cast response. And Janus leads us to the domain of the house cat, the forbidden blender, which shan't ever be unboxed. Please do us a big and share this content. Do yourself a favor and enjoy our Epoch.
The 300,000 people killed in Indonesia during the last 16 months are about 100,000 more than the total military casualties of all sides in Vietnam since 1960. In many cases, entire families were liquidated. But still there are thousands of widows like this young mother. Without trial, her husband and 300 other alleged communists were shot by the army and dumped into this mass grave. 50,000 in all were killed just on the romantic island of Bali.
We're back. The Epoch
Baby.
is back, baby.
We're back!
Hava and I went to California, so we took a two-week vacation from the show. But folks, we're back.
You guys needed a vacation.
We all need a vacation, Joe. You need a vacation.
Yeah, I know.
Justin needs. We all need vacation.
I just want nap time.
Yeah, we're back. We got the original trio. Hava will be on in a little bit, but Joe, run down the news, baby.
So, chemical pollution has basically passed the safe limits for humanity. It is going to be slowly destroying all life on Earth. Microsoft makes the largest tech acquisition in decades in a rather eye-popping fashion, considering the fact that they're making this acquisition all in cash.
Wait, what? Wait, what? Did they just show up to the fucking bank with, like, cash? They, like, literally, like, backed up a fucking truck?
They're acquiring Activision in an all-cash purchase.
That's fucking insane. Wow.
They are spending nearly $70 billion in cash.
Wow.
They are paying a 45% premium. The same day this is announced...
Hold on a second. Can you explain the 45% premium, please?
So, they were paying 45% more per share than Activision is actually worth.
Oh, we loved you. We had fun playing your games, but R.I.P. Activision and Blizzard. This is a pump and dump, boys. Oh, boy.
No, this isn't a pump and dump. This is a trying to swallow up market share in like an arms race.
It's a hostile takeover. So
Yeah.
Pump and dump is when you masturbate and defecate at the same time.
Yeah.
That's when you... Pump and dump is like what GameStop was.
GameStop still exists.
No, what happened with like
Toys R Us is the example, bro. All right, whatever. The same day they were going to pass antitrust laws or tighten them up. Yes.
Yeah, they announced that they are going to start tightening merger guidelines, which is what's happening with Microsoft. It's a good first test of like how committed the administration actually is to antitrust.
They should shove it to the gamers and just not allow it.
And also, Lyft makes the largest one-time political donation in the state's history here in Massachusetts. They made a $13 million contribution to the ballot campaign for the Prop 22 clone ballot question that would allow Lyft and the other companies like it to continue treating their workers as independent contractors.
Yeah. Does this proposal have a name yet? Or do we have to keep calling it the Prop 22 clone?
I don't think there's a name yet, but Lyft overall, they made a $13 million donation to December, part of $14.4 million that they've given so far. Ballot question campaign has so far raked in $17.2 $3.8 million in contributions. And for perspective of how much money that actually is, the Right to Repair ballot campaign last year cost $50.7 million, and it was the most expensive in the state's history. This fucking thing doesn't even have a name yet, and it's already at almost $18 million.
It's a good sign.
Democracy, baby.
It's only going to get worse, because if California is any indication, because Lyft, Uber, Instacart, and DoorDash collectively spent $164 million on Prop 22 in California, a campaign that ultimately cost over $200 million 2 years ago. We are in January. We have 10 months until Election Day, and this campaign has already raked in 18. Correct.
Nothing wrong with capitalism.
Yeah, the thing was just killing us all and grinding our will to live. Yeah, that thing. It's just fine.
It's us that is broken.
Yes.
The system is fine.
Joe, did you want to go into detail with any of those stories? Because,
all of them.
All right, go, baby. Because I got my own deck of cards, bitch. Anyway, sorry. Sorry I said the word bitch. I will try to be a better man in 2022. Sorry, guys.
I can say right off the bat, I liked that. And what I liked about it is maybe the most standout thing right off the bat is the thick ass.
Yeah. Anyways. What, Joe?
I listened to the News Patreon episode, and they swear about as much as we do. Actually, they swear more than we do. And one of the co-hosts tried to have a swear jar for himself.
I guess we're in good company. So about chemicals.
So, yeah. Headline in The Guardian this morning I saw at the beginning of my shift at work today. Chemical pollution is past safe limits for humanity, says scientists. Study calls for cap on production and releases. Pollution threatens global ecosystems upon which life depends. So there are about 350,000 synthetic chemicals, including pesticides, industrial compounds, and antibiotics, along with PCBs, that are now basically destroying the entire ecosystem.
Human beings are a disease.
Yeah. I have a colleague who, he has this very pragmatic thought process in a lot of ways. I mean, despite having horrible experiences with discrepancies between corporate responsibilities on paper and in practice. And for some reason, one thing that he's just not, I can't really get him to come around on is the fact that these chemical manufacturers like 3M, they'll factor in the cost of human and environmental devastation basically into their fixed costs, because they know that they're going to get lawsuits, they know that they're going to have to settle things out of court, and they know that when the shit hits the fan, they're probably going to have to spend some money on environmental cleanup. But the opportunity cost,
yeah,
if there's any profit to be made in that endeavor, they will squeeze those profits out before they even consider, not doing it.
And as it stands right now, I mean, don't take this the wrong way, but the possibilities for capitalists during the climate crisis are fucking endless. There'll be a whole lot of things to fucking commodify during the end of the world. Think about that.
Fun stuff. So the study that is the subject of the article concludes that chemical pollution has crossed a, quote, planetary boundary, the point at which human-made changes to the Earth push it outside the stable environment of the last 10,000 years. And that chemical pollution threatens Earth's systems by damaging the biological and physical processes that underpin all life. For example, pesticides wipe out many non-target insects, which are fundamental to all ecosystems and therefore the provision of clean air, water, and food.
Don't kill the fucking insects. Oh man, that always bums me out when you find out it's the fucking flea is important to the ecosystem in this way, and then it's oh god.
Everything is important to the
bees,
ecosystem.
Bees are pieces of shit, sure, but oh my god, they're so important. Come on, man.
Mosquitoes are the deadliest animal on Earth, but
mosquitoes are so important to keeping reptile populations down.
Well, there are thousands of species of mosquito, so you could theoretically just target a few species that are problematic in terms of being vectors for human disease.
Yeah.
But it's not like you're going to make that distinction when
West
you hear
Nile
something
virus
buzzing around your head. You're not going to be oh, this is an Aedes aegyptus mosquito. I'll let this one land on me and suck my tender juices.
For the greater good.
For the greater good.
Suck my tender juices for the greater good. Yep.
That's like a song lyric.
I was waiting for Joe to keep talking about the fucking news.
Suck my tender juices
Oh my God.
for the
I had a feeling it would go in that
good.
direction, so I just kind of let it do its thing.
Let it do it thing. Anyways.
Suck my tender juices
God damn it.
for the whole neighborhood.
This is the epoch of incredulity, folks. Find me online at... No, Joe.
So, there was a lot of talk about this at my workplace this morning. Everyone wanted to talk about it.
Oh, boy.
Microsoft made the...
Oh, so your workplace is full of dorks. All right.
Yeah, kinda.
That's fine.
It's okay.
No, mine too. The people I work with at my place of employment, we're talking about this quite a bit too today. So, hey. Everybody loves them. Everybody loves them video games. So...
But Microsoft is buying Activision-Blizzard for $68.7 billion. All cash acquisition. They are buying this company. Acquisitions of this size almost never happen with all cash. Like, the fact that Microsoft has this much liquid capital on hand is kind of eye-popping.
Mm.
You have nearly $70,000 in liquidity that you can just dump. That shit doesn't
What
happen.
the hell was that?
Oh, that was a coffee mug.
Do you have like a fucking dreidel over there?
No, it's
What
just
the
a coffee
hell?
mug.
Okay, I get it. The fucking Wookiee from the goddamn not Mandalorian fucking Book of Boba Fett is from some comic book.
Yes.
That doesn't explain why he's on the fucking show, dude. We don't need more. Anyways, go back to your fucking story.
It's an interesting tangent.
I don't like that show. Anyways,
Oh, you made that abundantly clear.
yeah, that show sucks. Keep going.
It pains me to say that it's only okay. And I say that through, like, gritted teeth.
Sucks. Go talk about news.
Right. So, this is the largest all-cash acquisition on record, the biggest one Microsoft has ever done. And it is basically a scramble for market share as it tries to keep up with Sony and Tencent, which is it's like Microsoft, Tencent, and Sony, the three biggest video game companies on the planet. Tencent is a Chinese company. In fact, actually, this deal caused Sony's share price to plunge like 9.5% today, which is not a great day for them, as Microsoft is now larger than Nintendo after today, and they are paying $95 a share, which is a 45% premium over Activision's share price. Taken on its own, this is just, another multinational corporation just getting bigger. It's not necessarily enough to warrant interest from like a market's perspective on its own. However,
Mm-hmm.
on the same morning that this was announced, the U.S. Federal Trade Commission and the U.S. Department of Justice's Antitrust Division put out a joint statement about its desire to rein in large mergers such as the one we're discussing right now. And the Biden administration has put up this, big show of like talking all the time about how great and how progressive these pro-antitrust types that they've been installing at like
Pro-anti.
Yeah, exactly.
They're just trust types.
or anti-monopolistic lawyers at the FTC and the antitrust division of the DOJ. And they've been talking up this big game about how they want to break up the big monopolies. And this is the first real test of, like, the Biden administration's commitment to the idea of, like, antitrust, or at the very least, like, having even a minimally antagonistical relationship towards capital. Antagonistic. It's been a long day. The FTC chair, her concern is that, in the statement that they made, quote,
"There is a need to prevent price rises and prevent companies from pushing wages down."
not wrong, but, like, I question whether or not the Biden administration will give a shit enough to, like, hold this merger up that long. I mean, it's going to get held up for a while, but, like, even the Trump administration held up a few mergers.
I did?
Yeah, but I think that was...
It held up a merger between Sprint and T-Mobile that it eventually allowed to go through.
I think that was related more to because so many members of the cabinet were personally invested in specific firms.
Most likely.
Which is not to say that anything has changed, but it could just be that the firms are different in this administration.
Oh, for
Yeah,
sure.
I will say, the one thing is that Blizzard, Activision-Blizzard, as a company, like, there's a lot of, like...
Activision-Blizzard.
I know. Anyways, there's a lot of, like, rampant sexism that's known to happen at that company, so there might be a silver lining that might be, like, squashed by this. But probably not. But probably not.
He's getting a $390 million payout from this, so.
Okay.
But Scott...
Wait, so, like, that's gonna stop sex? Like, what?
But Scott...
He's essentially getting a golden parachute.
Who the fuck is he?
The CEO of Activision-Blizzard.
Okay.
He's gonna get paid $390 million to walk away.
Okay, cool. They already weren't doing anything about, like, the sexism and, like, abuse that was happening at the company.
That's my point, is that, like, they're not really gonna do it.
Yeah, and I'm saying that owned by a different people, they might do something about it, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
What, Jesse? I'm sorry.
Oh,
Did you forget?
I think I was gonna say, but Scott, no more big boob. But it's too late now.
What? Yeah,
it's too late. It's
true.
too. We're past
That's
the point in the conversation now. It just sounds. Now it just sounds. I'm just like a fucking infant.
I'm sorry.
You've ruined it, dude.
What? I'm sorry.
Get out of here.
They ruined it by making the boobs too small.
Okay. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It's because of them.
Fuckers!
It's all their fault, dude.
Talk about Lyft or whatever the shit.
Oh yeah, so Lyft, which is it's already been discussed, but one of the interesting things about the whole thing with Lyft that was reported in the Globe today is that one of the consulting firms hired by the pro-Lyft Uber campaign is Conan Harris and Associates, which is a management consulting firm run and founded by the husband of Ayanna Pressley.
That's very interesting.
Also, all of the other major political consultant firms hired by the campaign for the Lyft Uber ballot question, they all have something in common. They all worked for the hospital associations 4 years ago to crush the nurses question.
What was the nurses question?
It was about safe patient to nurse ratio.
Oh, yeah.
The ballot question would have set a hard limit of like no more than 15 patients per one nurse.
Jesus Christ.
I think it was a lot less than 15.
Yeah, 15, that's a lot.
No, 15 was like the absolute maximum that could have been allowed.
No, I think it was 3-1.
Do you know like what nurses do? Like nurses like have to stay with the patient like most of the day. If they're seeing 15 patients, they're not doing their job properly. That's way too high of a number.
I'm going to look this up.
Like that's ridiculous if it was 15.
Yeah,
like
it was 15.
Okay. Okay, sure. Jesse, get some confirmation.
Janus has joined the call.
It was at the
joke.
absolute most. It would have been 6. It was a range of 1 to 6,
which is ridiculous. Also,
based on the nature of the patient. So, like, if somebody is under anesthesia, it's supposed to be a 1-to-1 limit, which makes sense because somebody's life is basically in your hands. Whereas,
like doctors see 15 people a day.
Yeah, whereas for a psychiatric patient, it was supposed to be 5-to-1, which makes sense because, well, I don't know. I guess if you had 5 people that were all like under the same, you know what? That would be a crazy movie. If you had 5 patients that were under the same shared, they all had conversion disorder and they were convinced of the same conspiracy against the nurse. Then you would need more.
That sounds like the best movie.
What the fuck did we come up with?
So anyway,
I like that. No, I like that.
Okay.
So the question, it was question 1, and it was between 1 and 6.
That's so
not
high,
15.
though.
There was nothing that would have allowed 15.
Do you guys know why nurses are critical and why the balance of nurses to patients to doctors needs to be just right? My sister told me this. She's a nursing educator.
Because they keep people alive? I mean,
well,
I think
here's
it's
what it is.
Clear cut there.
Here's what it is. Nurses are there because they're basically getting paid to use their intuition. They are getting paid to connect with the patient on an emotional level and be like, something's not right, doctor. I don't know what it is, but you need to fucking figure it out. Like, ask them some questions. And it's eerie. Like, I have a roommate who's a nurse. I have another roommate who is not a nurse. He's a DJ and a bartender, but he has the same like Myers-Briggs type. Sorry, I'm gonna keep this Myers-Briggs shit brief today. But he has the same Myers-Briggs type as most nurses. And we were doing a group video interview with a possible housemate who was like a 21-year-old trans guy, miles and miles and miles away. And we were all like, yeah, I thought he really liked us.
Miles and miles and miles of Briggs.
Yeah, he was like in Chicago. And we were all like, oh, I thought he really liked us. And was like, I could see him getting when we were talking about some of the like sex party stuff, he made this face and I was like, what? And I messaged the guy and I was like, hey, we were not clear about the fact that we have sex parties here and sometimes people will just be like fucking in the comment spaces. And he was like, yeah, some of that stuff I wasn't really comfortable with. I didn't really say anything, but I think I'm gonna, live somewhere else. And I was like, oh, okay, good call. Like, just caught it.
Joe, get back to it.
I'm gonna bleep out his name because I don't.
Yeah, please bleep out his name. Sorry, I gotta protect my homies here.
Homies.
So the Massachusetts Health and Hospital Association spent $24.6 million in 2018, and that was at the time a record. The right to repair question cost $50.7 million last cycle. The campaign for the Prop 22 clone has already raked in $17.8 million. $14.4 million have come from Lyft. Instacart donated $1.2 million. DoorDash has put up $1.17 million. And Uber has put up $1 million already. We are 10 months away from the election. A campaign that doesn't even really have a name already got $18 million in funds. Also, several large political consulting firms. This is only going to go downhill from here. I do still think it is very interesting that, like, Ayanna Pressley's husband is working for the Lyft campaign, and the pro-Lyft campaign has already paid his political consulting firm $43,300 in September.
This is like domain squatting.
Basically.
Wait, Ayanna Pressley's husband is like in favor of getting rid of all these labor laws so that Lyft drivers will never be able to be full-time employees or whatever?
Yeah.
Yes, that's...
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Don't want to call out anyone right now, but oh boy.
Call him out.
Nope.
Call them by
if you just
please,
if you just want to put like
I'll
a minute of fucking bleep, like I don't know, dude.
Sorry.
Anyways, no, that was fun. It's fun to.
That's what Kevin MacLeod is for.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love him. He's great.
We love you, Kevin.
Should we Jesus, should we transition into the stuff with Woo and Mass and Cass?
Yes.
Woo and Mass and Cass.
Joe said yes, so
I got Bindi in my lap, and she smells.
We got
like
a cat
Doritos.
in our laps.
No, she smells like Fritos.
Damn it! Now I have Fritos.
You know how cats have that good like corn chip smell?
I thought they had the maple syrup smell.
What?
Cats do not smell like corn syrup.
No, they're
son of a bitch. What?
Squirrel smells like maple syrup.
Cats and dogs both sweat through their paws, and for some reason, a lot of people say it smells like popcorn or corn chips.
Can't say my cats have ever smelled like corn chips.
Shut, bro, Joe.
Joe, have you ever smelled your cats? Have you ever picked up your cats and gone?
Yes, I have actually.
Okay, then.
We have like a special man on this show here.
There's a lot of
truly like unique human in Joe here. Like I just have to sometimes I'm in awe of it, you know?
There is no person like Joe.
My cats, their fur always smells like pancakes and syrup, but their paws smell like corn chips. Like, they just smell good. They smell good, and particular parts of their anatomy is associated with different good smells.
I'm still talking about this.
I'm fucking losing it.
Bindi's still in my lap, yo.
That's why. We're just going to talk about Bindi until she leaves.
We were away for 2 weeks and fucking come back and not skip. Not
got
just
a little
fucking beat.
nose
Jesus.
just snuggled into my elbow nook, and she's purring. How can
All
I
right,
ignore
but
this?
Joe is tired. Let's be nice to Joe.
I was the one talking. Anyways.
Okay, sorry.
Just give me a moment. So Michelle Wu already fucking lied. Anyways, basically there was a sweep at Mass and Cass this weekend. What the fuck was that? Joe? God damn it.
Joe's in like an iron foundry.
Coffee mug, sorry.
Dude, you have a loud coffee mug. Is that just you putting it down? Thanks for the answer. Anyway, okay. Oh my god. Oh god.
Can't
So
hear
yeah, there
you
was
over
a
the
sweep.
sound of his coffee mug.
Yeah, it's a very loud coffee mug. There was a sweep at Mass and Cass, and Michelle Wu basically said that, no one was forcibly removed, nobody's property was thrown away, and on the site, on the ground reporting, there's video footage of the contrary. So it's just a repeat of what we've seen over and over. The city failing to respond to a serious crisis, and then sweeping it, and then...
What question?
I have moved on, motherfucker. I don't care about your stupid mug.
That was a long time ago, Joe.
Scott was saying it's a repeat of the past, and it's a repeat of the city fucking lying to everyone's faces.
Yeah.
About human lives.
Mm-hmm.
And shit that people don't understand and therefore don't relate to and therefore don't care about.
Yeah, Janus put it so succinctly that the show decided to end itself. Yeah, that's basically...
That's the last thing I heard.
It.
I hope it got all of the sentence that I said.
Yeah.
Scott made a good point. I was just translating for him.
Well, these two fucking...
What did we do?
These pensioners or whatever were off on their golf. I have no idea what they did. They looked at geology. They were on a geology tour. There's guys
hanging out in volcanoes.
There's guys outside my building that are killing each other right now.
Oh shit.
Oh,
that's
no.
stuff for you.
Whatever.
Live reporting.
It's Austin. I don't care. Just fucking kill each other quietly. That's all I want.
Austin is like New York.
Yeah. So anyway, while we had the little interim period, I read through the text of the proposal. This sweep actually happened between when we started writing the proposal and when we finished. So it was an extremely timely response that we had. And we had a ton of, what would you call it? Testimony, support, whatever. Testimonial advocacy. Yeah. A lot of people spoke about it in the general meeting. So I think the combination of the timing, the amount of people that authored the proposal, and the amount of verbal support that we had in the GM, I think combined gives us a pretty good shot at making this problem a problem for the entire chapter in a good way. Not you understand what I'm saying. It just sounds negative when I say make a problem.
Oh, I'm amused either way.
People aren't going to be able to stick their heads in the sand and say that nothing is happening on Mass Cass when their comrades have elected to prioritize a socialist response to that problem. So I feel like in this sense, we are actually doing literally the most we can do in terms of organizing and mobilizing a response.
Wait, I'm sorry. Are the votes in?
Huh?
I just my brain crapped out. Are
no,
the votes in?
Your brain crapped out.
Yeah. Do you know when the polls close?
The robot polls are open.
A week after the GMs.
All right, so
Sunday.
So by the time this episode comes out, the polls will still be open. If you haven't put that in your number one priority slot, I would encourage you to do that.
Fucking do it. This is not an official BDSA channel. We can whip this shit as hard as we want.
All right, so then fucking do it.
Yeah,
leave the thing.
Or I'll beat up your grandma.
Yeah,
do it.
I don't want to beat up old people.
I'll beat up your landlord. No, I won't. I'm scared.
No.
Yeah. Oh, I could sink into my feelings towards the landlord. The fuck was it called? Landlord
Transparency Project.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that one.
Yeah, no, it's
I should have, but I didn't.
In so many words, I don't understand because it actually helps landlords continue to exist if we hold them to a high standard and they actually live up to that high standard. Housing justice isn't better landlords, it's no landlords, so work on that, guys. Yeah. But it's a neat idea for a website or an app, but
my favorite thing about the annual priorities process
I'm such a dick, sorry.
It's only in its second year now in the Boston chapter. The name of the game is prioritization, and that is how I live my life. every day, every fucking second. Like, I'm prioritizing. I do it unconsciously now. So I just love to be like, okay, what's the best fit here for the resources we have and the need that there is? And we didn't even have to think about it for internal because there were only 2, right? So that's default. They both passed.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm lazy, basically.
The reason I put gig worker number 2 because like that is the more urgent priority at this point.
Yeah, that's what I put for number 2 also.
It's like, yeah, the labor priority is great, but like we have time.
Yeah. We have a fucking working group. It has an OC. Like, our working group doesn't have an organizing committee. It's just us.
Like, we have Lyft dropping like $15 million in January.
Well, I don't want to blow up everybody's spot that was in the Masscast priority chat, but...
Blow it up.
The conclusion that we kind of came to is that if we're going to throw all of our weight behind a single proposition...
Blow it up.
Like, it's literally hit or miss. You know what I mean? If we pour all these resources into a proposition that ends up failing, what the fuck do you do after that?
I think even if you fail, you will still be helping, like, an inordinate amount of concrete human lives.
I disagree, honestly. The amount of people, the people that just fucking stopped caring after Bernie lost the primary, like... Like, this is the first time that we've talked about the nursing question, I think, since we started the podcast, and it's, like, always a concern of mine, you know? But
are you worried that, like, not enough people are going to, like, actually pitch in, sign up, do the work?
Well, no, it's just that we have a priority. Once the vote is done, then we fucking move on. Like, it's an electoral thing. You know what I mean? We already, like you guys said, we already have an electoral working group, too, and people are going to sign up for electoral. They're going to campaign. They're going to canvass, regardless of
plug in,
of whether or not they don't
have to commit.
Involved in, like, the internals of it. That's not something that the DSA has the capital to swing one way or the other. Like, the mass cast thing is a little bit different because we can organize with, like, ACT UP and these other neighborhood coalitions that can be there on the ground getting information from people. But when you're dealing with a nationwide conglomerate that is intentionally operating at a loss every year because they have monopolized the rideshare market, like, there's not a whole lot that we can do without being able to combat whatever advertising they're going to do. People don't really give a shit about the political education one way or the other if while they're watching, you know, NBC or whatever, every 5 minutes it's going to cut away to some propaganda about Prop 22. That's exactly why the nursing question failed. So,
well, it was really the Mountains of Hospital Association money.
Yeah, but they paid nurses to lie.
Yeah, that's where the money
TV.
Went. Yeah.
I'm going to push back on myself a little bit because, 1, I was careless with my language, and 2, my opinion is subjective, reflecting my experiences and my interpretation of political power. When we reflect on ballot campaigns in the recent past, we can deduce that it takes a lot of force to move the needle on a big ballot question. I can't say with 100% certainty, but I'm confident in my assessment that TV advertising plays a very important role in determining votes, that many prospective voters are first being introduced to ballot questions in the form of advertisements, that those advertisements are most often funded by corporations for the purpose of conditioning voters to serve corporate interests, and that members of the advertiser's target audience are necessarily more likely to vote than the general public. It was sloppy of me to say that nobody gives a shit about political education one way or the other. I think political education is a necessity. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't be doing what I'm doing right now. I also think that fighting the Prop 22 clone is necessary, but I would not opt to invest a big chunk of our DSA chapter's limited capital and volunteer capacity into competing with these pervasive ad campaigns. I believe that our energy and resources would be more effectively utilized on a municipal level, where we can take advantage of our proximity to the crisis, or more accurately, to what is perceived as the location of the crisis. Because Mass and Cass is a microcosm of the larger scale contradictions of capital, and we have the opportunity to take collective action locally to develop a model which could be implemented in cities throughout the country. Taking this route, we can become intimately involved in a socialistic response to a problem perceived as locally devastating. I believe that immersing ourselves in class struggle, in the unabashed defense of our rights to housing, healthcare, and public infrastructure, we can have a proportionally greater impact on our environment. One could also argue the inverse, that Boston DSA, recognizing its potential to influence politics statewide, should throw its weight as to tip the scales on a Prop 22 clone, effectively protecting workers' rights throughout the entire state. And it seems noble and selfless enough to strive for this result, an objective win for the working class, despite, or perhaps because, the DSA's role would be unknown, either invisible or unquantifiable. Surely our efforts would not be entirely meaningless if the vote were to swing the other way, as we may be able to build some solidarity in the process of our opposition campaign. However, we can't coordinate the entire voting base no matter how much outreach we do, as evidenced by Joe Biden's Massachusetts victory in the Democratic primary. This very well may be an opinionated and selfish perspective, as I said before, because I am biased by the desire to understand the relationship between my praxis and the world around me. I truly don't know. I'm open to the argument that I'm overly cynical about electoralism and childishly focused on obtaining material evidence that my work matters. I'm also being kind of vague about what comes next because when we're not operating on the fixed timeline of election cycles, I don't know what comes next. Whatever it is, I hope it means that authorities are going to think twice before they bulldoze a row of tents.
Jesse, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
What are 1 to 5 concrete ways that people could plug into the mass and cast priority should it pass, which I think it probably will?
Participate in the Narcan trainings, and if you can, get Narcan and give Narcan to other people who live in Boston.
Yeah. Go to your nearest pharmacy, fucking ask them for Narcan. They have to give it to you. You don't need a prescription. You can pay with your insurance. You can pay with cash. If you have Mass Health, you can get it for free. I went to a pharmacy and got 2 for free or maybe it was $3 because I have Mass Health. My roommate, my homie, who is my bodyguard now, I talked to him last night. He lives in the room next to me. Was telling me he's from Rockland. And he's seen so many people die from opiates. Shut up, Scott.
No.
And he was talking I got a Narcan in my bag, I got a Narcan in my pocket. He has fucking Narcan everywhere. And that's where you should have it also, because you could save a life. And it's so fucking easy. You just put it in your hand and you squish it up their nose. I mean, it's more complicated than that.
You put it in their hand and you squish it in their nose. And then
you should get trained on it. Next time.
Yeah, go to a training.
Yeah, next time we have a training, we should talk about it on the show.
Free. We're always free.
Yeah, the Boston Public Health Commission will come to your org for free. Shut up, Scott.
I love you so much.
I love you too. The Boston Public Health Commission, go to their website. They will come to your organization and they will do a training for you for free. It's free. Do it. It's so easy. It's a nice guy named, it's probably a bunch of guys, but we had a really nice guy named, I don't remember what his name is, but he was cool.
He was a nice guy, but I don't remember his name.
All right,
anybody write down his name?
You asked for 5 actions that people can do.
I said 1 to 5, but if you have 5, that's great.
I don't know if I have 5, but
if you got 1 to 5.
Here's one. If you have a personal relationship with a journalist, use whatever ties you have to journalists.
Spoil the fuck
put pressure on them to write an article about this from an
hold them at gunpoint.
From an anti-carceral perspective. Also use your own social media accounts to share the articles about this last sweep, because there is video footage and pictures of people having their shit taken from them and their tents knocked over. There's some WBUR radio segments that have interviews with people on the ground. There actually is some pretty good local coverage about the discrepancy between, the intended purpose and the effect on people who are choosing to continue to live outside because they have such bad experiences with social workers and state employees. We also need help with, we need to get some microphones, like the little ones that you can plug into your phone, just so that when we record, we have something that's good enough quality to be used in whatever media ventures
Do you know how much those cost by any chance?
I do not.
That's okay.
We had limited ourselves to like about 5K max.
That's how much the priority I participated in this year had. And I went over budget by $1,600 or something, and they didn't throw me out of the org, so that was nice.
Yeah, I think the labor one was like 10K, so it's...
Yeah, we have money.
Yeah, we're well within our means to do that. Let's see, what else? Mutual aid seed money. If you want to write letters, make calls, and like join us if we have protests in person, reach out to mentalhealth@bostondsa.org, and we can sub you to our mailing list so that you'll get updates whenever we have demos. I think there was one. Oh, no, a lot of this stuff we're going to need to do from within the org. A lot of it's going to be networking with MAP, SIFMA, ACT UP, and the American Friends Service Committee. So unless you're already in one of those orgs, I don't know how you're...
Or you really like to network, or you have experience as like an admin.
I just really like to network.
Oh, also...
the TV show.
Do whatever you can. Maybe show up when there's hearings at the State House on Bill S-1277 and H-2119. Again, that's S-1277 and H-2119.
And where can people go, like I'm assuming on the internet, to figure out when that's going to be? And also where the courthouse is.
Oh, shit, I forgot we're in COVID times now. They actually stream all their stuff now.
Oh, okay.
Boston, what is it?
Hell yeah.
Boston.gov? Yeah.
Boston.gov.
Is there a way for people to like still provide support in a manner equivalent to showing up in pre-COVID times?
Yeah, sign up to give testimony when they have the hearings.
Oh, okay.
They'll put you on a list. I mean, I don't know if they'll get to you, but...
do it anyway. Get on the list.
Yeah.
Put yourself out
on
there.
The list.
And also if you want to support safe injection sites, I think I don't like to use the word should, but I would advise you to. There's 3 bills, S-1258, H-2088, or the alternative S-1272. Those are all options for safe injection sites.
And we'll put all these numbers in the episode notes, right?
Yeah, I mean, I went over it when I was reading through the shit.
But shit.
Definitely oppose S-1265.
Fuck that one. 1265, don't keep it alive.
Basically what that would do is it would... Like, as of right now, the default legal action for people who struggle with substance use disorders is not incarceration, but this would create a norm that's already been established in some parts of the state. It would extend it to Boston, that rather than diversion programs or treatment, it would establish a default incarceration as like the first choice for whatever. My brain's not working. I was not intending on talking very much in this episode, so.
Oh, fuck. Turns out you're indispensable.
Yeah, he loves to talk. We love him for it.
I don't
He's got
love
good
to
shit
talk.
to say. He's got good shit to say. You should just like use a vocoder or one of those like voice changers next time if you don't want to hear
Just
your
make it more inconvenient for yourself.
Yeah. Just like add extra steps.
Use the screen
for
voice
fuck's sake.
changer.
No, if I don't write out what I'm gonna say beforehand, my brain is just not cut out to think and talk at the same time. I can think and type, but I can't think and talk.
Dude, Hava had the same problem. Hava had a really hard time thinking and talking at the same time, which is why she was usually so quiet. Whereas, like, Ellie could type through Hava when Hava was fronting. Ellie could write HGO emails while Hava was, like, hanging out with Scott. Yeah, that's, like, the system community term. You know.
No, I don't know. Is it also the name of the sword from Beowulf? Like, hunting?
Fronting.
Anyways.
I did one of those cognitive evaluations, like I got neurofeedback, and the result was that, like, I have very good problem solving and logic skills, but I'm slow, which sort of changed my conception of like you can be smart and slow, you know?
Yeah, you totally can. I have an acquaintance who does all these cool fractal art things, and he knows all this shit about math and stuff, but like he has a really hard time functioning, and sometimes he'll just put on Facebook, which is like he has like a very small amount of friends, but they're all like very close to him and provide him a lot of like material support, emotional support. And he'll have posts where he's just like, slow today, very slow. Here are the 5 things that are hard for me right now.
Yeah.
He's very good at like expressing his needs.
Yeah.
You can just say you're having a slow today.
I am.
Having a slow.
I went to the otolaryngology floor at St. Elizabeth's to get evaluated, my hearing evaluated, and talked to the ENT, and it was like I learned a lot of things and none of it's useful information. So I think I expended my mental and emotional capital on just getting through that. I've seen a lot of ENTs and they all tell me a lot of bullshit because they don't know what's happening either.
Psychiatry is kind of the same way sometimes.
Yeah. Well, consequently, I see as now all of my providers are in the same network, so I have officially conceded to the monopolization of my healthcare as well. Everything is great. Right? The system is not the problem. It is us.
Yep.
It is because we personally don't take personal responsibility and pull our boots up by our pant straps.
We have sinned against God.
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
We pull up one pant at a time.
Yes, one pant at a time.
One single pant at a time. A single pant economy where one pant is equal to one pant.
Has pants.
Spent a lot of time.
Yeah, I've thought about this way too much. Yeah,
pant to pant exchange ratio.
I thought the word pant is like actually very funny.
You have cracked the fuck up. I have watched you do this.
I know it's
about the word pant.
It's so funny. It's a funny ass word, dog.
It's like cheese, and there's
cheese
a couple other things that are. Yes,
cheese is delicious.
There's a bunch of things that are just inherently funny, like pants, pant, cheese. I forget. I'll think of more.
Inherently funny.
Yes, it is. Shut up.
All right, pant.
There is actually a psychology to what words sound funny, and it has to do with like
pants,
almost like literary irony.
Oh.
When a word has like a vowel sound, like a short vowel sound and a consonant that we're not expecting.
Oh.
It's like the contradiction to what our brain perceives as normal language. It's like it triggers something in our brain and we're like, this is absurd and
or
it sounds
cute.
Funny. Like if you show somebody a blob that has round edges and then you show somebody some spiky looking thing with
prickles and goo, Alan
a lot
Watts.
of acute angles. It was
prickles and goo, Alan Watts.
If you ask people like pretty much across linguistic spectrums to name one booba and one kiki, they will choose booba for the one that's round and kiki for the one that's spiky.
Yeah, that's a good Alan Watts thing. Google it. It's great. I love Alan Watts. He's the best.
He's the best.
He died 14 years before this body was created.
Yeah, wasn't he like also like a...
He, quote unquote, loved women, which probably means he raped people. Trigger warning.
We're burping in the storm, baby, storm burping.
I have to be honest, like, I've been emotionally fucked up since I watched The Act of Killing.
It's a hell of a movie.
Just like the last like 10 minutes of it are just so fucking emotionally unsettling.
I know you can't like...
Everyone should watch that movie. Good movie.
Yeah, honestly, I recommend it highly. You're going to probably have to deal with the reality that, like, there have been genocides against communists specifically.
Yeah, bro.
Well, and Chinese people, so...
Yeah, just don't label yourself, friends. Just don't say, I am a blank. Like, I have stopped saying I am Jewish. I'm going to just start saying that sometimes I do Judaism. I mean, you could say I am Jewish and
sometimes
my 23andMe says
I don't condone this. You label yourself as whatever you want. Identify however you want.
Yeah,
okay, yeah. Accept the consequences and understand that some of them may get you killed.
Sometimes I just walk backwards into doing some Judaism. Sorry, guys.
Yep.
I did some Judaism again. Damn it.
Accidentally...
Oh, shit. I did some Judaism on the floor.
Oh, man. I was trying to get some Fritos, and I ended up in the synagogue again. God damn it.
Fuck.
Just hate when that happens.
Oy vey.
I was doing some Judaism earlier because I was reading this wonderful 1980-something Time Life book called Wizards and Witches that my dear housemate and best friend left in
Anus.
our space when he moved out. And I was like doing a commentary on this one part. Like, do you want me to read it?
Yeah, fuck it.
It's about Satan. In the book, they're talking about like the Christian beliefs of the Middle Ages, and it says hovering at the end. This is a section on like order and chaos and shit. And it says hovering at the end of the great chain. This is the book, not me. Hovering at the end of the great chain, opposite God, was Satan, the great adversary. With his hierarchies of demons, he was the implacable enemy of order, the embodiment of discord, destruction, and darkness. And I wrote in capital sparkly orange letters, no, Satan is always the adversary, literally from the Hebrew, I forget what the word is, but it sounds like Satan, but is employed in the service of Yod-Heh-Vav-Heh, which is the Hebrew god. Gebura in the hand of Chesed, which is a fucking Tree of Life reference. I'm not going to explain that. Chaos is not, quote, the implacable enemy of order. It is its adversary, yes, but it is its adversary, it is its partner, it is its complement. Order is not so exalted as to be exempt from the fundamental dualism that allows the universe to both exist and function.
Do you know what that's called?
It's called Midrash.
It's called a dialectic.
Yeah. If you get into Jewish mysticism or any mysticism at all, you find that the dialectic is at the center of all of it.
Bam.
Yeah, nothing can exist in a vacuum. Everything exists only as a consequence of its relationship to something else.
Literally.
Good talk.
Good talk.
Okay.
That's doing a Judaism with Jen.
That's not going to be a new segment.
No, it's fine. I don't want to do that every time.
No. Yeah. So, like, today is actually the official day that the vax mandate goes in effect in the city of Boston. But and with, you know, it seems to be that the trends are starting to trend down slightly. But this is for all but the first responders who have been protesting the mandate. They get a week to get vaxxed. They have until the 25th, or they are put on leave. So
it's the exact opposite attitude you want to have.
Yeah, LOL. Yes.
The people who are doing the most harm to public health have the most leniency.
Yeah, it's insane. We're not taking this whole pandemic very seriously as a country.
I mean, did we ever?
No. And another thing, tying it into the pandemic and the mandates and whatever, and what the fuck?
It's Carlene's notifications.
Hi, Carlene.
I think she's asleep.
Oh, that's cute.
Does she like stretch out across the bed?
Yeah.
Oh.
You fucking freaks.
So back
Anyways,
to vaccine mandates.
Well, no. We were all in our houses for almost a year. Some of us were, at least, because of the pandemic, and we were getting unemployment insurance. And now Massachusetts is looking for like some ridiculous like $7 or so billion in what they say is overpaid unemployment. Don't quote me on that figure, but it's in the billions, and they're looking for people to pay it back, which is ridiculous because that was the money that people depended on to survive during the fucking pandemic. You eat that. That's the money that you eat as the state.
I have the number right in front of me. It's $2.7 billion.
Okay, I knew there was a 7 in there. But anyways, that is the money that the state has to eat to provide for the people who live there, the inhabitants of the state. So fuck off. All right?
It's difficult to overstate how fucked up it is. Essentially, what the state has done is they've given billions of dollars in unemployment aid. They've given money to people, and now they're essentially calling backsies.
Yes.
On money that people spent on, like, the things that they require in order to, like, survive.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're fucking... Yeah.
Well, I mean, isn't that also the same for, student loans?
Don't get me started on student loans.
Don't get him started.
Oh, shit. Fuck.
We got him started. Oh, no.
I'm sorry.
Doing too much. He's going to start yelling about student loans.
We're going for my...
No, it's just like... It's
and
like
also...
It's like
for all you fucking conspiracy theorists, today is the day that 5G is implemented nationwide. It's the day everybody's going to explode. My blood, it's boiling. Oh, no.
I got my booster, so...
Like, the airlines are pushing back because the signals. 5G can fuck up airplane navigation, and that's bad because we don't want planes crashing.
No, it's because the billionaires, when they fly in on their jets, they don't want to be controlled by the 5G.
Yeah, they don't want their blood to boil like mine is right now. My blood's boiling, and I keep thinking like, oh, I gotta be woke. I gotta vote for Elizabeth Warren.
That Jeff
oh no,
Bezos is actually human and not some kind of lizard.
Doc, did you see the picture from New Year's? Of course he's human. Only a fucking human would think like that's cool to dress like that. Okay.
Ever since they deployed 5G, I've had this like unrelenting tendency to want to defend Bill Gates.
Yeah.
All of his economic ventures. Like I just, whenever somebody says a bad word, I just have this impulse to say, no, he's a philanthropist.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking that might be...
I find myself soft pedaling eugenics. It's interesting. Since 5G it was turned on.
It feels weird. It's weird.
Well, Scott, I don't really think that was the 5G so much as that's just the Democratic Party just being like, this has gone on too long. This COVID stuff
it's also explicitly Bill Gates. Like, you know.
I literally had a conversation with someone last weekend, and they literally said...
Literally.
It's been too long. I don't care about the unvaccinated or the sick. It's been too long. And I'm like, dude.
Yeah. Those people are fucked. Those people, they're fucked. I don't know. You know? Also, if you don't have a kid right now, like, and you're really, like, on edge about kids have to be in school right now and, like, they can't do remote learning, you're a fucking weirdo, bro.
Speaking of kids, the COVID pandemic has created 150,000 orphans.
And they're probably all going to be forced to go to school.
Yep.
In person. So, yeah, we're a terrible country. Anyways.
This is actually pretty bleak. So in Boston, we have the in-person school mandate now. But because there's not a good testing and vaccine apparatus for educators, the policy is to leave all the windows open. So they're sending out bulletins to parents to like double and triple layer their kids with winter coats and extra pairs of socks while they're in the classroom.
Yeah.
So
if they don't die of COVID, they die of like fucking
hypothermia.
Yeah. We're doing great.
It's literally just the killing fields. It's no man's land on the Western Front, where you're just going to die one way or the other. It's a matter of when, not if.
That was really upsetting.
But that's also, I mean, that's
hell of
also
a return,
true.
Folks.
That's also true regardless of what literally anything else, unless you drink the blood of the youth or whatever.
Like Peter Steele. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really want to do like an Ellie style, like, here, I'm going to fucking guide you through this article that you could read yourself. This one has like a lot of good sections and pictures, and it's just something that could happen at Jesse and Carlene's place. And also my cousin's place. I sent her the article as well.
Oh, man. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
3 cats have outmaneuvered their 2 humans to hold a blender hostage for weeks. That fucking rules.
That photo is beautiful.
These cats are my favorite animals ever to exist.
No, it's true. There is a problem. People who don't own multiple cats might not know this, but if you have anything that's tall enough for them to jump onto, unless you have one for every cat in the house, it creates this like very unstable dynamic where every cat needs to be like physically located the highest in the apartment.
Yeah.
No!
They're all like vying to be on the throne.
I have a photograph from like 3 to 5 years ago of the 2 remaining cats at my old house sitting on a box that has like the exact same dimensions of this box that has their blender in it. And it's like perfect because they're not even just like lounging. They're just perched right next to each other. They're like, we must both be on this box. It is very important.
It is. It's the only thing Squirrel gets spicy about when somebody's on her little, I don't even know what I would call it. It's a cat tree, but it's just one segment. It's a cylinder, and she needs to be on it. She'll go for Bindi's neck. Like, Bindi makes this horrible noise because she knows she's going to get fucking attacked if she goes up there.
Cats they're just wonderful creatures.
They're amazing.
Yeah.
I've never had a more fulfilling emotional experience in my life than being a cat dad.
So what? They just sat on the fucking package and then like they can't open it? Like
no, it's like a whole saga. Like they have 3 cats. The cats rotated out, completely preventing them from opening this blender like 24/7.
Have they ever heard of moving their fucking cat?
No, you can't move a cat. It's just going to go back to where it went.
Yeah,
What
but
they
you can
did is
still
they-
move the cat, open the box, and then
Well, no, the
No,
problem
you
that
can't, 'cause
they
there's 3 of them.
the problem that they express in the article is
then
that
put them in a different room.
they can't permanently move the cats, but they can like rotate which one gets to stay on the pedestal. I mean, that's how it goes, dude. You clearly have never had this many cats living with you. There's
Yeah.
No, I have. And,
people
like,
do not, dude. People don't own cats. Cats own their humans.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
I think that's why conservatives get so freaked out about cats because they don't fucking.
I wouldn't say that cats
every-
own the humans. Is that like humans and cats just kind of like operate in free association with like the cats tolerating the presence of the humans?
That's true, actually.
Association,
Cats did
yeah.
domesticate themselves that way. History
Yeah,
lesson.
they did. It's true.
When humans developed agriculture, cats noticed that grain stores drew mice, and the cats realized that they could just hang out and eat mice, and the humans tolerated them, so they tolerated the humans in turn.
But I have a question, okay? Are these indoor cats?
It looks like it.
Then why don't they just take the fucking box outside, open it there, and then take the item out, and then close the box, and then put the box back inside, and then just have the item? Like, I don't understand.
You can't just simply
You can't just
move the
walk
blender.
into the... Yeah. One doesn't just simply walk to the gates of Mordor? Yeah, okay.
Yeah. You, what you do is you buy decoy boxes. I think that's what they did.
Yeah, that's
right?
the only way that you can do it. You have to give each cat their own blender and then wait
So we have to-
until
so the
one of
problem-
them chooses a decoy.
So the problem
Yeah.
is just not planning ahead.
Yeah, they
Okay.
just didn't have a sufficient quantity of blenders ahead of time.
Yeah, they didn't.
Or
anticipate-
they didn't open the fucking box outside.
Well, maybe they like live
In
in
the
an
car.
apartment and they can't. I
Well,
don't
then
know.
just do it right outside the front door. I know. I just,
By the time they knew what was happening,
yeah.
it-
That's
it's-
unfortunate.
It was too
And
late.
thus, that's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, this is great.
Fucking stupid humans. It's so awesome.
We should probably link this article
cats
in the
rule.
show notes because it's hilarious,
The
and
best
they
cats
get really in depth on
I hope
the
they
cat's
kill their
individual names and personalities. And actually, my favorite thing is that one of these cats is named George, Destroyer of Worlds, which
And the
is great
cat kills their owner.
because my cat, quote unquote, my cat at my old house, his full name is
Oh, God.
Alistair von Skeetington III, the Destroyer.
It's too long. You freaks with your long cat names.
Well, they just
People
call
are
him
naming
Al.
their cats
Al.
after an Oppenheimer quote.
Yep,
Wow.
that's the 21st century, baby.
Baby,
Baby.
the future. Wait, what do you mean, you freaks?
What?
I'm normal is what I mean.
I have 4 cats, and combined, their names are 7 syllables. No.
Yeah, no,
8
your cat's
syllables
names are normal.
in total.
Your cat's
No.
names are normal and cute.
No, they're not.
They're-
I don't know. I guess
No, they're
relatively
not.
normal. They're short, I guess, is what Scott probably means. They're brief.
And they're
They're-
unique to each pet.
They're not like human names. I didn't name my cat
Yeah.
human thing.
It's like calling a
Yeah.
cat like Al or George. It's like, what?
Yeah, no, Fred, Harry, and Steve. You know, I actually like that.
That's so
I kinda-
adorable.
I like when cats have people names.
I
think
hate it
it's really-
so much.
Yeah, I don't
You
like
gotta
it.
name it after people. Name it after people that like are from like ancient times.
Yeah,
They
you
had
have to name it
cool-ass
after like a
names.
dictator. Actually, when we got
What? No.
Sabotage- yes.
I already
Motherfucker.
made Scott agree to when we inevitably get a cat.
Oh, inevitably.
The cat's name is going to be Dr. Orpheus.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, and we'll just call him
Inevitably.
Orpheus. He'll be black. Yeah.
Okay, well, I found a black cat. Anyways, yeah, cats rule, humans drool. Ba-da-da.
That's the title of the episode.
And just hear you dying inside.
Uh-huh. It's all true, baby.
There it is.
My name is Scott.
Same as Scott.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
fucking find me online at Sweaty Wife on all the popular social medias. And, like, sometimes I make music. Maybe I will again. I don't know yet. I'm trying to write more. I'm a fucking loser. Sorry.
We'll collab, dude. We'll make something together.
Collab? Ugh.
Yeah, or we
Alright,
will.
fuck you too.
I'm just kidding.
No, eat shit. I don't want to do it anymore.
Oh. Well, I'm depressed now. Anyway, no.
I'm just kidding.
Joseph tired.
Joe, you gotta say, hi, depressed. I'm Joe.
Fuck off.
I'm Joe, and I have to go to bed, like, about now, actually.
About now? Oh, no. Oh, no.
Right about now.
The
Well,
Joe
I do need to
needs
get
to
up
now.
at, like, 5:20 in the morning for work.
Joe should go to bed right about
The
now.
best Joe brother.
The sleep Joe brother. Yeah.
There you go.
JLB 95 or whatever the fuck.
96.
97.
90.
JLB 96 at facebook.com.
Go find me on MySpace.
Yeah. That's good, dude.
Do you actually have a MySpace?
No.
Who didn't?
I'm not nearly
I
old
wish
enough
you
for that.
did. You weren't even like born when MySpace was
I was in elementary.
MySpace was
school,
2000
maybe?
through 2001.
Yeah, he was 4.
Yeah.
Oh, so yeah, I'm not even old enough to have been in school.
Before that, it was Friendster.
I didn't start school until like 2003.
Was I the only one who had a Friendster?
Yes.
I had
My ex
Friendster.
had like a vampirefreaks.com.
Oh! Yes! I know a few people who are on... I had a live journal and a dead journal, and I knew a few people who were on Vampire Freaks.
Oh, yeah.
I think the last time I posted in my live journal was like 2011. Scary recently.
I wrote a private entry about the night that Lydia
Never heard of
integrated because it was heavy.
Never had a Tumblr.
Heavy shit. Yeah, me
I
neither.
never ever had a Tumblr. Oh wait,
I
I did.
RSS feed.
Oh no, I had a Tumblr that I wrote about the Oscars like twice, and then I was like, I'm not doing this.
I only ever used Tumblr for porn.
Yeah, baby.
It was pretty good for that. Can I talk about who I am now?
Yeah.
Cool, yeah. Ever since Lydia like spooshed her way back into my consciousness, I talk a lot more. I'm very rude. I have all these bits that Ellie had.
I don't know. I like
Honestly,
it.
I like
funny.
it.
You don't deal with it all day, buddy.
Yeah.
I deal with Morons Advisor all day. It's close enough.
Oh, Scott's been getting lots of text messages in a row. Anyway, yeah, I'm Janus. I'm Janus.
It's called growing up with my mom and those text messages.
The Funk Soul Brother.
Check it out now.
Yes. So who are you? Where can we find you?
You can find me on this podcast.
What the fuck? I'm gonna play the fucking Darmok clip again.
No, don't
Dude,
do it.
Promise you wouldn't.
I wouldn't.
I'm gonna break up with you.
But you gotta go. Didn't you? Did you explain who you were? Where we can find you?
I'm Janus. I'm right here. If you want a psychic reading,
Thank you. There we go.
That's really weird. Go to readingsbycava.com. That's CHAVA.com.
I have a quick question?
Yes.
Do you have a description of how your readings work on your website?
Yes, I do. It's
okay,
pretty
good.
detailed.
Okay, cool.
He's Jesse.
I'm Jesse.
Uh-huh.
Making this. You're just sucking the life out of my vibe right now, Scott. You gotta be my hype man.
Oh, he's Jesse.
Yeah. He's Jesse.
Thank you.
He's making the fucking.
Make money, make money,
he's
money.
Making the money.
Okay.
Oh, that just keeps going. Oh, I know. How do I stop that? Okay, there we go.
And the crickets off. Kill them all.
And you can find my music.
Kill them all.
SoundCloud.com/Contingence, Boston, CONTINGENCE, Boston. I haven't updated the Comrade Rosie site in too long, so go there if you want, but you're not. It'll be old.
You won't be happy.
Yeah,
join Boston DSA and do work with us.
Yeah,
That's
join the
what you
working
do.
group if you want to fucking do maintenance on that website.
Yeah.
I do have a slam
That's what we do.
recommendation.
Oh, baby.
I don't remember if it's like
Drum roll, please.
sounds like it was written in another country, but I have a feeling it does. It's been so long.
It's been so long.
Oh yeah. Okay. The slam recommendation of the week is
He always does it.
it's an album entitled Proud to Build the Insidious Catastrophe by Human Parasite.
Oh.
Where the fuck are they from?
I'm proud to build the insidious catastrophe.
Oh, shit.
Human beings are a disease.
This segment. Can we call this Slam Around the World? with Comrade Jesse.
Yeah, stand around the world.
Wow, I did not know that would affect Joe so much. Jeez. Go to bed.
They're from France, I guess.
Oh, France.
French?
France.
Speaking of France, there was actually a general strike yesterday.
Speaking of France. Cool. Why don't you bring it up during the news?
That happens like every
I
other
forgot
day,
about it
right?
until now.
Oh.
People be chucking them in bathtubs and stuff.
Oh, right. I'm supposed to say something. Right, yeah. Sorry, guys. I was eating my soup.
Get that soup.
Yeah, go to comrade-rosie.org. Get involved with some local mutual aid. Join GSA. Work with ACT UP.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's getting harder to say, like, mean, sarcastic shit about the chapter now.
Ha ha ha! My work here is done.
What did you do?
Tarnation.
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Witch tricks.
We're on Patreon at Epic Incredulity. You can find us on most social medias at Epic Incredulity, including Twitter, Instagram, Clapper, TikTok. We're on Facebook. We have a YouTube. You can get into all of it, but go to our Patreon, Epic Incredulity, for the bonus material before it hits the main feed a couple days.
Boner material.
The boner material. It's especially horny on the Patreon.
Before it gets fully erect.
Get your nipples licked.
Get your nipples touched.
Okay. I just let him go. It's adorable. Because every week we say.
But tank though.
There's no video of President Trump sucking a ding-dong.
Why the fuck is Alex Jones?
And so what if they're what?
Chipping in on
But tank dough. Baby, shut up.
You begged me to do it!
Okay. But tank dough. That's your Epoch. It's getting late. Joe needs to go to bed. Joe, sleep it off.
It's going to be
bitch.
a shit show, but it will be an interesting shit show.
Lay your weary head into your comfy bed.
Mm-hmm.
It is actually
sleep it off, baby. I don't know if I have like a sleeping one. Oh, that was loud. Jeez. Right in my fucking ear. God.
That's a violent way to go to sleep.
When Joe falls asleep on his feet and falls.
Just body slam your bedroom door. It'll knock you out. It's kind of like taking propofol, I guess.
Or Seroquel, yeah.
It's sort of a roll of the dice. I mean, concussion, maybe.
Concussion, maybe.
Concussional optional.
How much head trauma can you take?
That's a good question, actually. I can't say that I have an answer. I always wondered.
That's true.
Wait, we gotta give Carrie a fart. He told us
give him
we
like
had
one good one. There you go.
Like lay on that fart button.
I don't think Scott can just like push the button. It doesn't make it longer.
Do it.
No.
Can you turn it up?
Can't.
I did. It's all the way. It's as loud as it can go.
It's either one fart or like a fart.
End of show.
I was
gonna say there is no middle ground,
I'll
but
clip
there
it in post. I'll put it like all the way. Fucking